volunteers from 11 countries share their experiences in environmental protection at a cultivation camp in Hualien. 6 schools in Miaoli that Tzu Chi helps rebuild are holding groundbreaking ceremonies. Welcome to DaAi Headlines. I'm Margaret Lin. Thank you for joining us. A cultivation camp for global recycling volunteers has taken place on March 30th in Hualien, Taiwan. At the occasion, the participants shared their ideas about environmental protection. Master Zheng Yan has also told everyone to seize the moment and take actions on top of words.
即使只是一个
Even it's just a plastic bottle or a plastic bag, you must carefully recycle it.
你们都是积极营营的想把它回收回来。
Taking notes seriously, this is Lin Qingcai from Xiamen, Fujian in China. She has been a recycling volunteer for 2 years and she has creatively turned the wrapping bags into containers, which had motivated her neighborhood to join her.
Every day I'm doing recycling and sorting garbage, or else I will be in the neighborhood to share recycling concepts with people. Some parents and their children started to come to our office to learn, and it's spreading out gradually.
The other recycling volunteer with 8 years' experiences is Lin Tianyi from Malaysia. He has helped local volunteers in Pulau Ketam to store garbage and turn the original garbage island to a place where everyone knows how to do recycling and successfully decrease 30% of trash on the island.
I've been behind the scene to support volunteers in Pulau Ketam to promote recycling. Although we have won the recognition of the government, but we must keep on going because it's still a long way to go.
Bringing a pair of recyclable chopsticks anytime. Use it immediately when having a meal. Always bring the 5 treasures when you go out.
Reminding everyone to bring the 5 treasures, including the recyclable chopsticks, cup, bowl, bag, and handkerchief when going out. Luo Shuiwei from China wrote these slogans for people to remember to protect the environment in their daily life.
人人生活简朴啦，那就是资源节省，这都是我们在做环保最大的目标。请大家，不管是外形环保、内修熏法，白天呢落实生活，如何做环保？安尼，这条菩提大道直都无退转。
Even coming from different countries, their hearts to protect our earth are the same. The 3-day camp has ended, but the most important lesson is to continue to do recycling with action to inspire more people to protect the environment.
The 6th TIMA Forum was held at Xindian's Jinshi Hall. More than 300 medical professionals and volunteers came to discuss the topic of long-term health care.
All members of TIMA Taiwan attended this year's forum to exchange their experience regarding care for elders. Despite the advancement of medical technology in Taiwan, much of this equipment is still very new. And given the manpower demands of an aging society, long-term services require the cooperation of manufacturers, the government, and academia.
Community groups are making requests and referrals. What's most important now is managing this demand as we hope that there will be more care locations and more growth in the number of service groups.
TIMA Hsinchu is working with Tsinghua University and NTU Hospital's Zhudong branch to train volunteers to screen the disabled and the elderly suffering from dementia. TIMA's northern chapter also utilized a local recycling center to measure blood pressure and assess their mental state to identify and potentially prevent the onset of dementia.
We are cooperating with the Ministry of Health and Welfare's ABC long-term care points. We want to cooperate with this government policy and use our hospital and even our liaison office and even recycling centers to provide such service.
The government's promotion of a Long-Term Care Act 2.0 means that TIMA will spread across Taiwan and work at the front lines to care for the elderly. There is also a desire to improve the quality of service as these care locations by cooperating with NGOs to jointly improve elder care. At this TEMA conference, a group of volunteers demonstrate a new dental chair, which can accommodate someone in a wheelchair in less than 2 minutes.
For the staff working at nursing homes, they may experience some inconvenience, as we have designed these aids to let them see a doctor when they are still in a wheelchair. They just need to lay back and can still see a doctor, as they don't need to get in and out of bed anymore. This is more convenient.
This innovation is more convenient for those in a wheelchair. It was designed by Lin Anjin, a volunteer from TEMA, Tainan. He improved upon products currently on the market and designed it to meet the needs of doctors regarding posture and the needs of special patients. It can reduce the time needed to transport the patient and allows doctors to check their teeth more easily and efficiently.
In the past, doctors needed to stand and check their teeth, as now they can sit and check. The patient doesn't need to move. He's just laying back in the wheelchair. We can be more efficient and effective when it comes to the care for these patients. It's also much easier for the doctors.
The display of the dental equipment and supplies are designed to meet the needs of the Long-Term Care Act 2.0. This invention was based upon the ingenuity of volunteers. This team is working across all medical professions, from dentistry to Western medicine and traditional Chinese medicine to care for elders. There's hope that greater community involvement will help spread this care and compassion into all the communities around Taiwan.
To encourage children to embrace reading, a Cultural and Educational Development Association in Hualien collaborated with Tzu Chi University of Science and Technology to found a book house. Recently, the book house officially opened. The playful clown brings full vitality. Tzu Chi University of Science and Technology has collaborated with the Cultural and Educational Development Association in Hualien to found a health-themed book house, which officially opened on April 1st.
We expect that the parents can learn 10 healthy behaviors after they bring their children here every day. The books here bring children health knowledge.
Widening their eyes with curiosity, the children see the structure of the human body for the first time. Brushing each tooth carefully on the tooth model, the children have learned the right concept under the guidance of volunteers. They have also gotten to know themselves better through some fun activities.
Since they learn it at an early age, they'll be more motivated to take good care of their organs as well as maintain their health.
With the guidance of the storyteller, the health knowledge is no longer boring. The book house provides more than 2,000 picture books. In the future, volunteers will come regularly to tell stories, encouraging parents and children to put their 3C products aside and embrace the habits of reading. In celebration of the Social Work Day on April 2nd, social workers of the Hualien Tzu Chi Hospital went to the patient's home to understand their living conditions. They also assessed the follow-up resource allocation to meet the needs of each patient. The mother and her son are singing together. Mrs. Chen suffers from diabetes and mild dementia. To look after her, her son doesn't go out to work. Social workers at the Hualien Tzu Chi Hospital has accompanied this family for 8 years.
I thought of Tzu Chi social workers who have been receiving your help from the past to the present. I feel grateful from the bottom of my heart. It's great that I can take good care of my mom. Thank you very much.
65-year-old Mrs. Pond lives alone in a rented house. She often rushes to the emergency room to seek medical attention because of heart disease and diabetes. The visits of social workers makes her very happy.
You called me a few days ago. I remember clearly the date of your visit as I put a check mark here. It's on this Saturday.
This way, we social workers will understand what the patients are like when they're not in the hospital. This allows us to provide quality service to the patients in the future.
There are no roofs in several rooms. A fire broke out in Mr. Cho's home 3 years ago. The roofs were repaired with sheet metals 3 months ago. He has mobility issues due to necrotizing fasciitis in his left foot.
We discovered that he doesn't receive much support from his family, so we have continued to care for him. He recovers slowly because of his wants in his food and his has diabetes. He doesn't eat at regular times either, so we have been caring for him until this year.
Social workers at the Hualien Tzu Chi hospital go to the patients' homes to deliver supplies and care prior to the social work day, hoping that they can receive substantial assistance. Tzu Chi volunteers in Taichung went to Fengyuan Precinct to care for the police officers and cook them delicious vegetarian cuisine. Meanwhile, Tzu Chi volunteers in Zhanghua invited care recipients to red dumplings to raise funds for the Hualien earthquake survivors. Mrs. Wang Zheng, who lives in Zhanghua, is a Tzu Chi care recipient. She's not only skilled in selecting fresh vegetables, but she's also an expert in wrapping dumplings. From cutting vegetables, frying ingredients, to kneading dough, Mrs. Wang Zheng passes on these tips.
As I'm this old and it's hard work for me, I cannot complete the work without your help.
Although she's already 80-some years old, she's willing to take on the work. She says she wants to share this delicious vegetarian food to Tzu Chi brothers and sisters.
The dumplings will be sold to raise funds for the residents impacted by the Hualien earthquake. Tzu Chi volunteers in Taichung go to the Fengyuan Precinct to hold a vegetarian banquet to thank the hard work of police officers.
If vegetables can be cooked like this, it's fine for me to adopt a vegetarian diet.
Volunteers also check on the police officers and ensure they are healthy. As the police have been working in a high-pressure environment for a long time, Tzu Chi volunteers cheer them on through these warm interactions. Tzu Chi Foundation is helping rebuild 6 schools in Miaoli. Among them, DaAi High School students expressed their gratitude through singing at the groundbreaking ceremony. The principal of Hualien Junior High School also expressed his gratitude at the occasion.
The students at DaAi High School expressed their gratitude through a song composed by the principal at the groundbreaking ceremony.
I am very grateful to Master Zheng Yan for her love and compassion. She is willing to provide a safe school environment for us.
DaAi High School, which is more than 50 years old, desperately needs reconstruction as its wall is cracked and floor tilted.
I hope the children's moral character will be shaped, just like how this building is, being built from its foundation.
Tzu Chi's Project Hope of Disaster Risk Reduction has helped rebuild 6 schools in Miaoli. Among them, Hualien Junior High School, which is more than 60 years old, has some unsafe classrooms built without construction licenses.
The donations from people from all walks of life, our teachers are able to teach better, and students learn more diligently.
If we wait for the subsidies from the Ministry of Education, we might not get the money in 8 or 10 years.
Now that we are breaking ground, the children can record the progress of the construction project. They can learn about buildings, beauty, and most importantly, learn about love and gratitude.
With the project, the children will be able to learn and grow in a sturdier and safer school environment.
To commemorate Princess Mother, the Thai government stipulates that her birthday on March 21st as the National Volunteer Day to award outstanding individual volunteers and volunteer groups. And this year, it was Tzu Chi volunteer Vipapun who won the honor.
When Vipapun became a Tzu Chi volunteer 5 years ago, this was her wish for herself.
I do my best to be Tzu Chi's important force, finish Tzu Chi's work, and accomplish the master's expectation.
Whether it is visiting care families, cleaning, or performing a sign language, she is always there. She can also cook delicious food to form affinities with other people.
Doing Tzu Chi work allows me to smile often. The volunteers say that when they first met me, I always frowned.
Although she must care for her aging father, she still finds time to volunteer, so she is capable to getting both done. She was recommended by Tzu Chi for this year's Excellent Volunteer Award, and this is her biggest motivation to push her forward.
Tzu Chi volunteer Wang Zhihui is from Beijing, China. While visiting her son in California, she was invited by Tzu Chi El Monte Liaison office to give a talk on her changes after joining Tzu Chi and her management of Jinsi bookstore.
At the Beijing Jinsi bookstore, we had an incredible affinity. Everyone feels it's rare, and I'm here telling you about it.
Beijing Tzu Chi volunteer Wang Zhihui is visiting her son in the United States, and she is invited by Tzu Chi El Monte Liaison office to talk about the Jinsi bookstore in Beijing, because it's almost 1 year old.
Jinsi bookstores have a very incredible function in China, and that is when kids or senior people go to our bookstore, they'll become joyful and are willing to become our volunteers. So here in Southern California, we have this chance to hear her talking about it.
Wang Zhihui mentions her changes after joining Tzu Chi and her management of the Jinsi bookstore. She will forever remember her initial inspiration.
The master's Jinsi aphorisms are wonderful teachings, so if you find them useful and change yourself, then you save yourself, and you won't have so many bad habits to cause bad karma, especially karma of words.
I didn't know the Jinsi bookstore can go so far and wide and promote Tzu Chi's culture to cleanse people's minds. I hope our society can also become so clean and compassionate.
Wang Zhihui goes abroad to promote Tzu Chi culture and the master's teaching to local people, so they can gain along spiritually.
Nowadays, many people suffer from insomnia, and some people rely on sleeping pills to go to sleep. According to the Food and Drug Administration, people in Taiwan consume a large number of sleeping pills every year. Let's learn more about the correct usage of sleeping pills.
Insomnia is hard to endure.
I could not just lie down there. Therefore, for the entire night, I kept going to the toilet.
Insomnia could be caused by physical or mental problems. Some people rely on sleeping pills. According to the FDA, in 2014, people in Taiwan consumed 339 million sleeping pills. The Ministry of Health and Welfare has started checking on the use of sleeping pills 7 years ago. Office of Food and Drug Safety in Taichung has prevented medical institutes from prescribing unnecessary sleeping pills.
If people increase the amount of medicines they take, it might exceed the maximum amount suitable for the human body and cause poisoning.
Patients should not exceed the recommended dosage. Some seniors could fall easily if they get up in the middle of the night. Therefore, one should not mix medications. In addition, one should go to bed after taking sleeping pills.
Do not take the pills with alcohol. Pills also inhibit our central nerve systems. Therefore, it is dangerous to take them with alcohol.
People who suffer from insomnia can adjust their living habits and not rely on sleeping pills so much, as these pills are not wonder medicines.
The cabinet in Taiwan announced that all new scooters and cars will become electric by 2040. This led some to question where the power for these scooters will come from, as nuclear power on the island continues to be an issue.
From
the technology to the pricing, these electric scooters are proving to be very competitive in the market when compared to traditional gas-powered scooters.
Last year, the cabinet launched a program to improve pollution with the promise that by the end of 2018, there would be 10,000 electric buses. By 2035, all of the new scooters and motorcycles will become electric. And by 2040, all new cars sold will be electric. Here at the Taipei Bridge, the number of scooters and motorcycles coming down the off-ramp has become a spectacle that has attracted the attention of the international media. Walking through streets and lanes, a dense number of scooters has become part of Taiwanese culture. It shows that electrifying such scooters would be a major challenge, as they were once part of the landscape.
The usage rate of electric vehicles right now is relatively low because they are relatively expensive. Generally, if you choose a vehicle, you may not choose an electric scooter.
像之前其他电动车就感觉让
Previously, some electric scooters would run out of power when climbing uphill and would go slowly, so I thought that all electric vehicles would be the same. Whether it is a scooter or a car, the first test is that many need to pass is the pocketbook. At the end of last year, the number of domestic scooters and motorcycles registered were 13.37 million vehicles. The number of electric scooters was just 110,000, accounting for only 0.8% of this figure. As for car registrations, there are more than 7.94 million vehicles, the number of electric cars being just 1,557 vehicles, which is a proportion which is less than 0.02%. A wireless smart key is pressed and the scooter starts. One only needs to press and hold and then go. There is no noise or exhaust when the vehicle is started. Actually, this environmentally friendly vehicle has even won over people who want to appear more fashionable. My family lives in the mountains. Yes, even if there are two of us, such as my girlfriend, there is no problem going up Yangmingshan. With performance issues being solved at this stage, the next hurdle is simply providing electricity for these vehicles. This well-known electric scooter brand is trying to solve the inconvenience of charging by implementing a concept of battery exchange. In western counties, there may be many battery exchange stations, but when it comes to rural areas in eastern Taiwan, there may be a problem. For battery exchange stations, the east coast of Taiwan may encounter some problems, as it has yet to become popular. On the east coast, in areas such as Hualien, Yilan, and Pingdong, if there are battery exchange places, then there won't be any problem.
In the future, we must promote these in a comprehensive manner. When we want to promote electric vehicles in 2035 or 2040, it is very important to be smart about managing electricity at this time. We need to have energy storage equipment that operates during non-peak hours and non-during peak hours. This will have something to do with electricity management and will be of the ways we measure our success.
Electric vehicles, however, cannot operate if there's a shortage of domestic electricity. Some believe that the issue of nuclear power and green energy, which is still being developed, means that we need to rethink the issue of converting vehicles to electric power. Hopefully, one day in the future, we can all achieve the government's goal of clean transportation.
After the gas explosion accidents occurred in New Taipei Central, city volunteers have continued to care for the affected residents. We will leave you with these images, but also pray for the impacted. Thank you for joining us.